This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael. I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen Samurai Cop, an action movie from 1991 directed by Amir Shervan, and boy is this one a doozy. It follows policeman Joe Marshall, transferred to the LAPD because of his skills and training as a samurai, to help track down and defeat the Katana gang, who have taken over the drug trade in the city. It isn't difficult for Joe to find them, since they're also after him, and a more direct confrontation with the gang's boss results in him meeting Jennifer, someone who the boss is personally fond of. Joe and Jennifer grow closer, naturally, which only results in the boss conjuring a revenge plan which, well, honestly, I probably shouldn't say much more, but only because there isn't much more to the film's story after that. No, really, that whole subplot is about half of the film overall. The other half is a smattering of action sequences which tend to play out the same way, which really just kind of makes this portion of the LAPD look incompetent when almost everybody they fight is either maimed or killed. As for the overall story, it's also incompetent, but more on part of the writing. This is a movie that's pretty much written scene by scene, getting things done because they have to be in an action film like this. Then again, even that idea is a bit of an exaggeration because of the kinds of scenes we actually get. From the Katana gang sneaking into a hospital, to a confrontation at a sit-down restaurant, to a very unenergetic rendition of the birthday song. And for obvious reasons, a whole lot of nudity. Fight scenes are thrown in to break things up, of course, and it all ends up playing out with a whole lot of tonal imbalance. Going from something humorous or romantic one moment, to a guy getting his arm cut off in a fight, or sometimes worse, and then back to another lighthearted scene with zero ramping of the tension or even a real segue. This is especially apparent through a bunch of cross-cutting scenes near the end of the film, which I still won't spoil even though it ends up dragging on for so long that it might as well be a third of the story, even if what occurs in these scenes isn't explicitly mentioned afterwards. It just feels like the filmmakers ran out of other ideas and tried to fast-track the plot to get to the ending. Anyways, that sort of choice wouldn't surprise me given how much of the rest of the film's production is pretty clearly slapped together. Pretty much every frame of this movie screams zero budget, from scenes being shot in pre-existing offices and houses to outdoor locations clearly filmed without warning anybody in the area, much less seeking actual permits to film. The action is also pretty lackluster, with few real brawls and even less creativity. There are a few sword fights, but they barely last for long before it just delves into gunfights and chases. Speaking of which, the one car chase in the movie that I can remember is only memorable because of its cheap production, clearly being sped up film meant to look like everybody is speeding through suburban streets. The film's other technical elements are hardly anything better, with long takes that seem as if they were shot once or twice before moving on to the next angle, as if there are any camera angles other than dead ahead or medium shot, and any mistakes in the performances captured are kept entirely intact. The thing is, it's in all of these mistakes and incompetencies that the movie does still have some appeal. If you're into midnight movies where you're more likely to be laughing at the film's more serious moments, making fun of the bad production standards and the worse character performances, or just want some deranged and unhinged moments of late 80s, early 90s action without a whole lot of investment, then this is the movie for you. If you were expecting something more refined, then you probably tapped out of this review well before this point in the video. Either way, this isn't a good movie. But if it had been better, it probably wouldn't have been worth watching. Samurai Cop. Amir Shervan, 1991. 1.5 stars. I wouldn't recommend it, but again, you'll probably get more out of it watching it for fun or with friends rather than being alone. I don't have a choice in that matter, though. That's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. Well, I suppose I still had some fun with this movie. It's nice that I got a week of easy movies to work with here. I have a feeling I just jinxed that, though.